What is up? Back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this one will be a video where I shared the 5 wrestlers I would love to meet the most that are currently active kind of deal, because it would be filled with active on a pretty much full-time basis, or as close to it as possible. So no guys like John Cena, no guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, those kind of level guys. It's just full-time, no matter what the promotion, no matter what the brand. Would love to know who's on your list down in the comments below. Number 5 on my list, I technically met him kinda, sorta, somewhat, Drew McIntyre. And I say kinda, sorta, somewhat because after an NXT house show back in September of 2000 and I think it was 17. It was a couple of weeks after, a couple of weeks after he won the NXT championship. He walked outside to get on the bus. He stopped. He signed a blank piece of paper for me. Continued to walk after that kind of deal. But technically, I met him. But I would just love to be able to shake his hand, tell him thank you, maybe a hug. I don't know if he would be comfortable with that. If not, obviously not. But Drew McIntyre is number 5. On to number 4. Number 4 on my list, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of them. I did a video talking about them, but it is the Usos, both Jimmy and Jay together. And like I said, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of them. They are one of the most popular tag teams of the 2010s, plus I have their very first battle pack figure that ever came out, so getting that signed by them would be cool. And yeah, that's pretty much the biggest reason why I would want to meet them. I don't know for sure if I would be able to, because I have little desire to go to the US, and from a legal standpoint, I don't know the situation with them coming to Canada because, again, of their legal stuff that they did over the years. But either way, Usos are number 4. On to number 3. Number 3 on my list is, again, one of those guys that, granted, I like MJF more than the Usos, but within AEW, there's a lot more wrestlers I would love to meet one day, but MJF is near the top of that list, mostly because he's good in the ring, good on the mic, and he's one of the few quote-unquote young guys within mainstream wrestling that actually stays in whatever gimmick that he has when it comes to meet and greets, because wrestlers, from my experience, tend to kind of drop that once it's time to sell merch and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, MJF is number 3. On to number 2. Number 2 on my list is Timeless Toni Storm. For myself personally, I've liked her in NXT US, in WWE, but a million times more in AEW. I don't know for sure why, or at least I like the Timeless gimmick and all of that stuff. And she, granted, I don't know anybody personally that has met her, but from what I've seen online, she's a good experience to meet over the last year and a half, 2 years, like post-pandemic kind of deal, since her joining AEW. And yeah, she is just one of the top females within wrestling I would love to meet that I have not done so already. Number 1 on my list, I might have had the chance to meet him a couple of times through independent wrestling, in particular when GCW came to Toronto. I think it was last summer and this upcoming summer, Money in the Bank weekend. But Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, I know that there are other people who are a bigger fan, supporter mark of either character, but Cardona, the man himself, and whatnot. But yeah, when it comes to Cardona, he is one of those guys where he was a part of my mid to late teenage years through his YouTube TV show thingy, the Z True Long Island story, I think. I don't know, I have a really weird memory, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. And plus, he's doing pretty well pre-injury, post WWE. So yeah, we'd love to meet him one day. Will it happen? I have no idea. So those are the top 5 wrestlers I would love to meet one day down the road. Will I do it? I have no idea. I'm not a fortune teller. Like I said earlier, would love to know who is on your list and why down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. Do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's